Hi everybody and welcome to the channel. Hope you're all having a lovely day. Today's video, yet again, going to showcase some mods, this time for the fantastic Assetto Corsa through the content manager. Now there's loads of YouTube videos out there displaying content manager, what it is and what you can do with it, so I'm not going to do that. Instead I just want to focus on some different Formula 1 mods which you can actually download into content manager and use within the game. One of the best things about Assetto Corsa is just how moddable it is, how much extra content you can actually add to the game, and it makes what was already a fantastic simulation even better. So that's what I want to do here, show you some different Formula 1 mods, and I'll get into it. Now firstly I just want to show you some of the ones that I've actually downloaded into my game, into my folders. So I'm just going to go on the cars section here, open it up, and you can see straight away I've downloaded the full 1986 Formula 1 Championship season. What a season with some absolutely beautiful cars in here. So you can see already we've got Alain Prost in the McLaren, we've got Keke Rosberg, we've got my all-time favourite Nigel Mansell on the famous red number 5 with the Williams. What a beautiful car that is. So straight away you can create some amazing races with all of these, and if, like I say, you do actually go through and look at Content Manager on other videos on YouTube, you'll see just how amazing it is and what extra depth it can bring to the game. So not only is it the 1986 season that you can download, I've also downloaded the full 1991 season. So again, full of absolute legends in here, in what I would class as sort of the golden age of Formula 1 for me anyway, sort of my memories as a young lad watching a lot of these. So we've got Gerhard Berger and Ayrton Senna in the McLaren, the amazing looking Williams, which dominated in 1992. Sort of an evolution of this 1991 car. But yeah, absolutely superb. Even more mods that we've sort of got on here is different Ferraris. So we've got the Ferrari from 1994 with Jean Alesi. We've got the Ferrari from 95, 2004, 2007. We've got even more McLarens. There's just so much content that you can download. We've got the beautiful looking 94 Williams in there as well, the Rothmans. So it's just such a good mod. So many different things that you can actually download. We've got the full 2006 season as well. Loads on here. Obviously, this is Michael Schumacher's last season in Ferrari. So superb cars, more beautiful cars. I've also got the full 2002 season as well. So in this video, I've already done the laps. Like I say, I'm not an amazing driver, so don't be expecting superb quality driving. But I've just taken a car from each of these different seasons, and I can just showcase them for you in the game on the same track, and we'll have a look at the lap time comparison to see how they stack up. Track that I'm going to use is Spa, and as well as downloading all the mods for the cars, you can also download tons of new tracks, which again are fantastic. So if I go into all on my tracks, I've got absolutely loads. And loads of historic ones as well from 1988, which is great to use with the historic cars. But there's tons on here. One of my favourite tracks, I live in England, and my local circuit is Cadwell Park. So there's even Cadwell Park that you can download on here, and it just looks great. There's tons of tracks. I think I've added about an extra 70 or 80 tracks onto the game. And in a second I'll show you the website and a couple of other examples of websites where these are easily downloaded from, and they're really easy to put into the game as well. So that's what I'll move into now. Let's have a look at where you can download some of these mods. So where can you actually get all these different mods? Now I've brought up 3 different websites here that I predominantly used when downloading them into my folders. Firstly, I'll just show you AssettoCorsa.club. Now this one I found probably to be the most accessible with the most varied content on there. So it's split up into cars and tracks. So if you click on tracks, you can filter it so it's in A to Z if that's easier for you. And you can see here massive array of circuits, pretty much anywhere that you can think of. Really different varied amount of circuits. So let's say you wanted to download Deep Forest Raceway, it'll just be a case of clicking on it and then downloading it and putting it into your game folders. Again, loads of different YouTube videos out there showing you exactly how to do that. Lots of different cars on here too, all free content, brilliant. Just give them a thumbs up once you've downloaded it, because obviously it is all free and it's really great content. Now the Formula 1 mods, the 1991 mod was taken from ASR Formula. Again, great website. So they also do R Factor 2 on here, but obviously I'm using Assetto Corsa. So if you go to 1991, they've got all the individual cars to download on here for free. You don't get much better than that, do you? You just download them one by one and again put them into your folders. They have got the 1992 season in here as well and some legend content, but that is paid content. But it's well worth it. All the cars have separate physics to each other, so they don't all feel the same to drive. It just makes for a really immersive experience. And let's face it, it takes you back to the old Jeff Crammond Formula One days when everything was at its best. Definitely better than the stuff that we get nowadays from EA Sports. Lastly, is the race department. So yeah, you can sign up to this for free. There's also some paid membership options, but again, loads of mods on here as well. A range of free mods to paid mods to ones that adds absolutely tons of content into the game. There's a famous sort of GT3 mod on here, which I think costs about £10, but it just adds everything into the game and it's brilliant. So yeah, there's definitely 3 places that I would recommend getting mods from. Now what we'll do is we'll move into some Formula 1 laps that we've already got set up, and yeah, I'll show you what it sounds like, what it looks like, and a bit of my driving. Firstly then, I'm going to show you the 1986 Williams driven by Nigel Mansell at Spa, which is the track that all of the laps will be on. As you can see here, recreated fantastically with the car model. This is just on replay, so I'll be showing you loads of different angles, what the noise of the car's like. I'll try not to talk too much, but already, look at that. The nostalgia just dripping from that. Superb, and that's why I say that these mods are just brilliant. I've also got the top left, a lap timer going on so we can check out the times, and just the gear and the speed so you can see that as well. So I'll just shut up for a bit on this out lap before we get into the fast one and just show some different camera angles of this car. The great art, they're just such a handful back in these days, such a balance between man and machine. I think recently it's just taken over, but it is more machine than man, but definitely not back in these days. Taking the hand off to change gear, you know, the real handful, especially these turbo cars, a crazy amount of power. So I've just skipped ahead a bit now, getting ready to start the lap. Let's see what we get. So I'll do a bit from this camera angle and then we'll move to inside the car. Great noises as well. One thing you can also download and update with the content manager for Assetto Corsa is different graphical mods, so you can really bring the graphics up on the game into modern day. Makes it look so much better. Constantly adding new ones to the game, different shaders. Like I mentioned before, we've got the full 1986 season, so all the cars are reproduced in great quality, all drive superb. You can put yourself a custom season together with these. What better way? So much better than today's Formula 1 in my opinion. A real handful these are. Nearing 190 mile per hour around here. Whoa. Slam on the brakes. You can see there the time that we've got in this car is a 2 minutes 4.019. Loads of fun to drive. What a great car. So let's move on to the next one. Next up then is the absolute classic McLaren driven by Ayrton Senna from 1991. This car went on to win the season. What a car. Beautiful, look at it. So iconic. Sounds amazing as well. So we'll do the same thing here. Just have a quick look at the outlap and then we'll see what time I get with it. Now, I only did a couple of laps with these each, so it's not like I'm going for the best laps that I can get, but it gives a representation of the differences between the different eras of cars that we're showcasing. Look at that. Beautiful. Screaming out. God, they just don't sound like that anymore, do they? That attacking the wheel. Catching slides all the time with these animals. Like the Williams that we've just displayed, perfectly captured in the game is this car. Looks great, drives great. Right, let's get on to the lap. So here we are now then, about to start the quicker lap that I put in out of the two that I did. And just look how nice this is. Nothing better than the full grid of these 1991 cars screaming away on the replay. Bear in mind this is free content as well from the website that I showed you. Whoa, nearly lost it round there. What a driver Ayrton Senna was. Details that they put into the cars are just amazing. Just look brilliant. Like I say, I'm not the best driver in the world. The cars are a handful, but if I can do it, anyone can. And this car then has got a 156.162, so considerably faster. It's much easier to drive as well. The turbo on the last car just kicks in. Inconvenient places, must have been a nightmare in real life. What an experience though, just driving this. If you've got a VR headset as well, which this content manager supports for Assetto Corsa, you're in for a real treat. But let's move on to the next car. Third car out on track then is the McLaren from 2002, driven by Kimi Raikkonen. What a great car yet again. I personally think this is maybe top 3 liveries that McLaren have had. Brilliant. I don't personally like the bright colours that they've got today. But you know, it still looks nice. I just prefer sort of this colour. It's more traditional to what I see as McLaren. And again, 2002, so the car is screaming out. Really fast era Formula 1 as well in 2002. Some lethal cars around this time, absolutely chaos. So yeah, let's do the same as what we've been doing. Have a quick look at some different views and see what time it gets. Full commitment around these corners, even on the outlap. What a car. Look at that. So let's get ready for the quick lap and let's see what we get. And this is a full season of 2002 you can download. So yet again, you can set yourself up a custom championship with all the tracks that you want. You can recreate the season, set the different skill level of the drivers so it's all realistic. Brilliant. Visible speed difference with this car, I think. So fast. And really quick, 1 minute 49.260. What a fast era of Formula One though, 2002. Obviously the season was won by Michael Schumacher, who's in the Ferrari domination years, but this was also a great car, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. So let's move on to the next car, which will be the 2004 Ferrari driven by Michael Schumacher. Now this car is a real treat. Absolutely amazing to drive in this game. It's so fast. And look at it as well. Beautiful looking car with that Marlboro livery. So Michael Schumacher, 2004. It's his 7th championship that he won in this car. 7th and last. In my opinion, the greatest Formula 1 driver of all time. Driving maybe the greatest Formula 1 car of all time as well. Listen to it screaming. Absolutely tremendous. Driving left something to be desired then, but when you're moving from one car to the other, they obviously all handle a bit different. You just got to get used to them. Look at that. Such an old game as well. It's got really good graphics as well with the updates and the different shaders that you can add. Such a fast car, this. It holds many of the lap records in Formula 1 for many, many years after setting them. But only recently just been broken in the new era of Formula 1. Some of them held for 10, 12 years, even more. Right, so let's get cracking with the lap. Let's see what we get. Oh, screaming out. It's a bit wide going into there, lost some time. That was a 149.699. Now you'll note that was a little bit slower than the 2002 car. If I'm honest though, this wasn't as good a lap, and if you're going to choose between the two, this 2004 car does blow it out the water, which if you do download these mods for the game, you'll definitely find yourself. I reckon there's another 2 seconds in this car easy. What a car. Probably my favourite on the game, to be honest, when it comes to the Formula 1 cars to actually drive. It's just brilliant. So on to the last car, which I'm going to display now, which will be Fernando Alonso in the 2006 Championship Renault. So here we go, the last car that I'll be displaying on this video, Fernando Alonso in his championship winning car. Another absolutely beautiful looking model. And again, as with most of the other mods, you can download the full 2006 season and again make your own custom championship against all the different cars and drivers for that year. You don't get much better than that, do you? The variety of content, the amount of hours that you can add into this game, amazing. And this is just Formula 1. There's also British touring cars, there's DTM, there's GT, stock car, IndyCar. It's amazing, especially with all the different tracks that you can download as well. Oh god, I'm all over the place there. Definitely getting used to this car. You can see it's a bit twitchier, but beautiful looking car. Of course, then different rules for this year compared to the last car that we were in 2004. So theoretically, this shouldn't be as quick. Still sounds great though. Although not as good as the other cars in my opinion. Whoa, goodness me. Just save that one. Definitely too jerky on the steering there. So again, I've wound it on to the start of the quick lap. Just going into the last chicane. And let's see what it gets. Lovely colours, what a livery. It's definitely harder to drive as this car. than the 2002 and 2004. Understeers a hell of a lot more. There's also mods for newer Formula 1 cars if you're not a fan of these older eras. But for me, these are what I remember most fondly and what I enjoy driving the most. So I spend most of my time on these. Big correction going into there, mess that up a bit. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's not about the ultimate lap time, it's just about displaying some of the driving and what the cars are like. And they do all handle different, which is great. And still a fast lap in comparison with the others, a 152.767. It was a little bit scrappy as well, so there's more time in there, so it is harder to drive. But yeah, so that is the 2006 Renault as driven by Fernando Alonso. Now I hope you enjoyed that. We've just displayed 5 different areas of Formula 1 car on the same track. If you've got Assetto Corsa, give it a go. Download Content Manager, you might already have it already. Give these mods a try. They're all excellent, brilliant, some superb stuff that you can download to prolong your experience on the game. If you don't have Assetto Corsa and you've got a PC, it doesn't take that much to run, even with the extra shaders on and the extra graphical functions that Content Manager does bring. But yeah, give it a go. It's only cheap now, and there's just absolutely fantastic amount of content on here. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you have. Please subscribe if you do enjoy the videos, and have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.